10 reasons why you're going to a sewing school will completely change your confidence level and your complete outlook of actually making your own clothes. 10 reasons why I think it's vital for you to actually go to a sewing school or attend sewing classes. Number one, you are going to learn how to do things correctly and avoid all those bad habits we develop as we're going along. By eliminating those habits, you'll find that you become more efficient, you are saving fabric, you are saving time, and you are doing things correctly, and also you're saving a huge amount of frustration and unpicking. That alone should get you kick-started and in the right direction to actually join a sewing class or sewing school. It would be hard to understand and to read a commercial pattern. That alone is a lot to get around your head, to actually open up that pattern and you see all these different graded pattern pieces, all these different sizes from bust to waist to hip measurement, and you kind of think that what you in the shop when you buy clothes, you'll be the same as the pattern suggests. It's definitely not. So you'll find that commercial clothing in the shops and a pattern, the sizing is totally different. So that alone is like a shock to your system. I mean, when I would use a commercial pattern and I'm an average size 8 or size 10, I normally chase sometimes up to a size 14 because the measurements are not according to what the measurements are in the shop. As a fashion designer, I have my own pattern collection and quite a few courses and products to help you to enhance your skills and to start your own business. Check them out on my website. If you like this kind of content that I'm sharing with you, how about just help me grow the love and the algorithms by giving me a like, a thumbs up, share, and press the subscribe button down below and stay in the loop for my weekly videos. Thank you. Number 3. You would learn how to actually cut out your size of your pattern or how to trace it off. Number 4 would be how to lay a pattern on the fabric by following the grain lines to avoid any distortion in your garment when you're making it up. You can't just put a pattern piece down and go, I'm just going to cut. No, there's much more to it. And you'll definitely learn more about grain lines and how the fabric is woven, how to lay your pattern and understand the importance of grain lines and measuring, of course, from the selvage to the grain line of the fabric when you place your pattern. I think one of the most important things is that you'll learn how to eventually make the garments and how to adjust them to fit your body proportions correctly. If you look around and observe how a lot of people are wearing clothes that just don't fit them correctly. They might have very small shoulders and very broad hips. So they're wearing a garment that accommodates the hip measurement, but everywhere else on the top that's smaller is just hanging and not fitting them correctly and actually making them look a little bit more sloppy or even more overweight than what they really are. And if you just take it in according to that person's body proportion, suddenly that person's body looks more refined, they look like they just lost 10 kilos, only because they've actually made the garment fit them correctly. And it's just something you can learn with time with your sewing, how to adjust your garment to fit you correctly. The sewing school, you're learning how to sew, is that you are selecting colors that suit you. You are selecting fabric that you absolutely enjoy wearing. Obviously, when you get to the point of knowing how to sew with different materials. But this is where it's going to lead you to, once you go to sewing classes and you learn so much more, that you can actually have a wardrobe that is your colors and the fabric that you love. Let's look at styles. You can start selecting commercial patterns of designs that you love to wear, and you know it fits and suits your personality, your body shape, and for any kind of function that you want to go to. So now you're creating, your style and a wardrobe that suits you and your lifestyle. By learning how to sew correctly starts off by the whole planning of the measurements and the cutting out. that will definitely give you more confidence to take on more complicated and more advanced type of sewing as you progress with your sewing. And you get a lot more confidence. That this confidence is not just to do with your sewing level. This is inner confidence of having self-achievement, that you have put your mind to do something and you've actually accomplished it. The different types of terminology around sewing. So what basically a facing is, what's edge stitching, top stitching, stitching in the ditch, what your unpicker is used for. You'll start learning different types of techniques and the names of them as well. So you can start identifying different types of techniques when you are looking at a commercial pattern, or whether you're online and you're watching a YouTube channel and someone is sewing something, you can identify immediately what they are talking about. And believe me, that just makes you feel so amazing that you can actually understand what they are saying. So that right now it could be purely as a hobby, something that you want to do in your spare time instead of just watching TV. Learning so much more about the industry, it's enhancing your knowledge and your skills. You are actually self-developing yourself through skills of sewing, and you never know where your sewing will take you. It might end up being into an entire business for you, or generating an income which makes you self-sustainable. Some comments down below in the comment box. I will love to come back to you. This is Tania Sutherland. So now you are learning how to use your spare time, in a very productive way, making yourself clothes, which you can add to your wardrobe for this day wear, casual wear, whatever function that you are starting to sew for yourself. So you are now using your time productively. So that is, you're going to have a bit more guidance, that you feel that you can actually go home and kind of complete a garment on your own, or start it and go back to your teacher or your tutor to guide you to complete the garment. By growing your skills, you'll see your confidence level is going to go up so much higher. You can take on new things. And right now, this could just be a hobby, but you don't know where your sewing could actually take you. Your sewing can open up an entirely new world for you, turning it into designing, creating new services and products that you can actually turn into a business, generating your own income. So I absolutely would recommend for you to go and look at classes, go and join classes, whether it's online or actually interacting with live classes with other students with you, because growing your skill in anything uplifts your self-confidence and definitely your self-worthiness. And this is just something that you'll see that once you've been more creative, more and more doors open up to you, and you just have more of a bounce in your step anyway, and look absolutely amazing wearing what you are making.